Let's jump in. Let's get into it. Gotta get into it. You can't get into it without saying get into it. And what will we listen to? I guess it's gotta be some Lord of the Rings. A little Lord of the Rings. Coming back to this piece. Get a little more done. Nothing wrong with that. You got the notification? I'm actually curious if you can see the tags now as well. I updated the tags on the, should say like Zelda now. Instead of just English, it should say Zelda and Zelda fan art. Oh, you see it? Okay, cool. I mean, it'll probably make zero difference, but I'm gonna sneeze. Ah, damn. Change the layout on the bottom of the stream, the text. I mean, this is the Dungeons and Dragons study. We're doing the, like this thing. Not that. What's the other thing? Let me look at the channel. I don't know what you mean. Stop distracting me. What, it's gone? Okay, well, if it's gone, it's gone. Okay, I see something in this that I need to fix. How old am I? How dare you? No, I'm 42. No, it's come up a few times, usually in the context of me being old. Oh, how are you? I'm incapable of reading properly. So that's how I am. I'm doing good. How are you? I saw that thing about maybe doing a collaboration with your brother for a children's book. That would be awesome. You'd learn a lot. Mostly you'd probably learn that doing children's books is really difficult. But you'd still learn a lot. Yeah, I think it's important, like, you gotta get your feet wet. And this is as, like, sort of, I don't want to say, there's nothing easy about doing children's books. I did a few, I mean, they were very, like, hey, I want to make my own children's book. And, you know, they gave me a few $100 and I gave them drawings and stuff. It was good stuff, but it was like them just printing something out for their own family, not like something you would buy in a store. You know what I mean? And so I know that children's books are not too bad because they're often not very long. You know, if there are children's books, is it a children's book or is it a like a big book that we should be we'll publish it and have it sold in schools? Good. Well, it will either be a lot harder than you think it will be, or it will be a lot easier. I'm not too sure exactly which side it will fall on. Let me show you something about this drawing that was bugging me. I inked it like this. All right, apparently this is this documentary is something to see. Welcome, Sextra. Really quickly to talk about what I'm trying to fix in this drawing. Like this isn't badly drawn for the pose, but if I look at the original rough sketch, there's just a lot more perspective on it, and I need to bring that back. This feels like it's angled, like this shoulder feels very close and this shoulder feels very far away. But if we look at what I drew, which is here, it sort of feels like the shoulders are at the same distance from camera. Somehow when I was drawing it, like cleaning it up, it flattened. Also, if you look at this, like we can see, like, you know, this breast is much closer to camera than this breast, right? That's clear from this rough sketch. But when we get here, it's like they're a little more evened out. It's just a little too this one is not wine influenced. Not very wine influenced, at least. I opened up another thing of wine last night, and then you know, I did a lot of streaming yesterday, and it was a very productive day, and then I was just like buzzing, so I needed more wine to chill out, so I had some more wine. And then some of it was left over this morning, and then so I had some breakfast wine, but that was hours and hours ago. That has nothing to do with anything. That's just nutrition. That's just how we power our day as an artist. The wine will come back. There's a good, most of the wine is still left. But I don't want to, like, just because I'm getting more or less paid in cheap wine doesn't mean I want to, I want this thing to look good so that it can lead to other D&D commissions down the road. And if I whiff on it, that's not going to help me, you know? But I have to be decisive about what the character is actually posed as, and I was just defaulting on this one, so it ended up getting all screwy. I'm getting this interesting flicker, and it's gonna drive me nuts. So let me just restart this. Let's see if restarting it helps, and if I have to close some of this stuff out, we can do that. I'm not sure what's causing it. Has your wife had a chance to try it yet? Try the wine? She did. She took a sip, and she was like, that is all you. So... So I don't think this stream is going to turn into a commercial for the winery. It's okay. We don't need that to be the case. I think it's lovely. But my wife is influenced by you know, things that I'm immune to, like marketing and social pressures and stuff like that. That stuff doesn't apply to me. I don't care about that stuff. I'm still getting this weird effect, and you know what? I'm just gonna power through it. Who cares? Maybe it's because this is open. Try closing that. One more time. Isn't that the background? You have it on a website for people to download? It kind of is. I haven't really chased it down to like make sure that like people download this, use it as your website background. I think it's a good one, but it's... Oh, come on. All right, I just gotta get past it, even if it's gonna drive me nuts. I believe I have it. Yeah, if I restart the computer, the stream is gonna get screwy. I guess I don't really have a choice. All right. I'm going to restart. It's the only thing that might help. Otherwise, it's going to bug me. So maybe see you in a couple minutes. No worries if not. This isn't going to be a long stream. It's going to be like an hour. So we'll see. But I'm going to stop. I'm going to, you know, maybe I'll stitch it to... Yeah. Okay. Well, let me just reboot and I'll see you in a minute. Adios. Oh, it's got a little bit of a delay. What can I do about that here? Refresh device. Does that work? Reconnect to device. Yes, that's better. A little better. Back to the musica. Just back it up. Okay. And let's just hope this one goes a little smoother. Why not? Okay. And yeah, this won't be a long stream. I'll do my best to be efficient with stuff, but I'm going to attempt. At any moment, my clients could get out of their meeting and just say, hey, we need you yesterday. Where were you? Where were you 30 seconds ago? Okay. Let's see. Yes, it appears to be back to normal. And it's like the world's smallest thing. You guys wouldn't even see it, but for me, it's like all that I see. Okay, so I think I did a good job, you know, I guess 10 minutes or so ago when I was explaining that, like, this version of the finish, this finished line art, looks way too flat compared to this version. This version has like a sculptural perspective where this shoulder is clearly much closer to camera than the far away one. And then if we do this, we can see that as I rendered it with line art, it sort of brought the far side too close. It's a subconscious thing that you know, half the time I draw... it could have been a wine-related mishap, you know? A good analogy is like, you know, everybody's great at driving. You just drive. But if you get distracted, like, thinking about something, sometimes you sail right past where you're going and, like, you drive to, you know, I don't know, your where you work or something like that. You know, you'll be like, oh, I'm going to go to the corner store, but instead you go get on the freeway and you start and you're like, what the hell did I just do? So so I just got a little bit of, like, I was on autopilot, I think. Now, how do we keep from going on autopilot this time? I'm not exactly sure, but I'm going to try to have an emphasis, because this is like the second or third time that I've tried to not have this happen. I tried to correct this again last night. It wasn't on stream, but I tried to do a little bit of correcting, and I still couldn't do it. I still kept flattening out the image. And so what I'm going to try and do right now is sort of establish some... Like, what if I do like a low poly geometric roughish line art sketch? Did someone commission this one? This is sort of like my first little... Since I started the streaming and sort of put this out. Now, this isn't from the stream. This is from my friend who is... he's just my friend, but in real life. So someone whom I would not say no to upon this request. They finished their, or they are finishing their, for like 10 years, they've had a Dungeons and Dragons party. And it's finally winding down, and everybody's glad, and everybody's ready to move on. But they'd like a piece to commemorate all the stuff. And so this sort of encapsulates their time together, and it is and it's a worthy project. And you know, I've sort of been developing the Zelda stuff is good practice for like a D&D aesthetic. And I guess D&D commissions and clients are a real thing. Like, I didn't invent this, so so it stands to reason that this could be good practice, if nothing else. But also, he's like, we can pay you in wine. And I said, that's great, because that'll save me a trip to the store. So I won't have to buy any. And I liked the idea of getting paid in wine, too. That sounded like fun. So, kind of like a win-win situation. And I made sure that they were cool with me, like, okay, can I use this for content? Can I stream it? And they're like, yeah, sounds good. So, that's kind of the thing. Okay, so this is already feeling good. Like, the perspective on this, you guys can see that the perspective here has a lot more dynamism than this version. It's like they're similar, but they're different. And this is more true to my original sketch. Oh yeah. No, I'm like the best guy. I'm like the best friend. Best friend you can, like, IRL. We big-hearted, try to yeah. And so my Yeah, he's a friend since middle school, so we knew each other since we were 11 years old. And it's been great. And he's in Paso Robles, which is I don't know if it's not really like, it's almost Central California, but it's not Salinas. You've been there. Okay. Paso Robles is very arid, but also coastal. I like it there a lot. And what's happened is over time, my wife and I have grown to cherish our wine trips up there. And so all of this has strengthened all of our relationships. It's like our friendship is stronger because my wife loves wine, and we go up there and we bug him and we make him take us to cool wineries and stuff. Your first time ever in San Francisco? Oh, it was in the documentary. Ah. And I've been wine tasting in like Napa as well. Napa was very much like a tourist trap. I'm not sure if it's still this way now, but I was not impressed with the my hard-earned artist dollars didn't go very far in super posh Napa wineries, very expensive. My wife is attempting to call. I wonder why. So this is me attempting to fight the tendency to flatten out as I render. So I'm trying to express these forms far more simply, because if I go in there and I like add all these little details and whatever, obviously, like in the final line art, you see those kinds of details, but if you put those, like those are like subforms ahead of, it's like putting tiny details ahead of the big ones, and it's like the small forms are always going to be subordinate to the big ones. And if I lose my way on the big ones, there's no way that the small ones will help me find my way out. Now, as a result, I'm kind of not paying attention to the detail of the costume on this character. I have sort of have a sense, but you know, having drawn it, I do remember. Even this, I don't want to lose that perspective. Almost see underneath this plate. Can you see the reference? Yeah, the reference is here. There's actually a 3D model This is a female character, so that eventually has to sort of be expressed as well. Another thing to note is that these are done at like, they're sort of rendered at hero scale. Here, I'll make it bigger and you can see. Hopefully that's so this character is like 7 feet tall relative to the other characters. So she's the biggest one. She's the crazy one. Yeah, so she's just sort of like this big, I don't know what her species is. Sort of looks like a, oh, she's like a water or something. Almost, yeah, almost as big as me. I'm 5'11" and a half. So it's like annoying, very annoying for me to be just under 6 feet tall, but that's the accurate assessment. I'm not getting any taller either. If anything, I'm shrinking. Very upsetting. Maybe if I did more yoga. Get some of that back. You're 5'4". Nothing wrong. Nothing wrong with it's all about heart, you know? All you need is heart. Pretty sure Napoleon was 5'4". So I'm especially even if this is off model, I'm making especially sure to make sure that the relationship between this breast and that breast is as I intended and not something that feels flatter. I'm already liking this a lot more. Maybe I just needed to warm up. I think I just needed to sober up. The dragon has a reference as well? No, there's no reference for the dragon. So I'm actually keeping it somewhat a little mysterious. It'll be silhouetted with like energy. Essentially, it's like it represents, the way I'm going to depict it is a little bit, I kind of want the context and the imagination of the viewer to fill it in. One inspiration for me is the movie poster for The Thing. This isn't a perfect The Thing movie. Gonna bring this out. As usual, you click on anything online and it is like impossible to actually see the thing. There. This is something, at least. You can see this. So it's like, what are we even looking at here? And it's sort of like, you don't know. It's very sort of like, well, that looks scary, and it'll be something like that. Now the light won't be coming from, like here it looks like, yeah, the thing is crazy. One of my favorite films. the I mean, the crazy body horror that is in The Thing is a big inspiration for a lot of the art that I did in like the rendering I did for the Vires. And even like the Manhandla. You know, look at this gooey shit. Tendrils all over the place. And here are the Vires. The Thing. So The Thing, yeah, it's a funny title, but it's actually sort of a sequel / remake of an old alien movie called The Thing from Another World. Yeah, so if you like look, like if you can see into this, like this detail. Some of this gooey shit, you know, just make it like it's covered in slime, almost like it's, you touch it and you come away wet, right? It's gross. But there is another definition of the word thing. Did you know what did you know that a thing is a gathering? Let's see here. It's a Viking and Icelandic in the context of Viking Age and early Germanic societies, thing refers to a gathering or assembly of people, particularly for legal and political matters. So it is sort of like, it's an interesting sort of play on words a little bit. I think, I'd like to think that the thing is, yes, it's a thing, but the thing is also referring to the people that are there. Because it's like, they have to work out, like, who's the bad guy, basically. And that's sort of what they did at those things. Like the ancient Viking things, like they would get together and hash out their differences between the tribes so that you didn't have like all-out war breaking out. It was sort of like the United Nations at the time, except it was more like a big party. They would get together and be like, well, you know, Olaf, we all know that you took, you know, you know, Jensen's sheep, you know, so now you got to give it back. And they're like, all right, fine, you know. So it's like, all right, we all know that you're the alien, so give up. And I think something that was throwing me off in the original sketch, and this is kind of true, is that I can't tell whether I had this back arm going sort of back into space. Yeah, like I want it to go back into space. Did I pick up my kids today? Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh shit. I'm just kidding. On Wednesday, my wife picks up the kids. So. No, believe me, I've got like notifications up the wazoo that like pop off. I wouldn't wouldn't mess around with that. Nothing would happen. The schools would just call me, but that would spell the end of the streaming. No, if my wife was like, you were streaming and you didn't pick up the kids, guess what you're not doing anymore, you know? No more wine, no more streaming, no more anything. No more Max at that point. All right, so I think what makes sense to do then is to make it clear that, and this is kind of why I had to do that that fun Zelda piece yesterday, is like I needed to put something out there to sort of like get likes and attention while I was working on this, because this is it's like an informal commission, but it is real. Like if I don't do this, then I'm sort of not being serious about things that I'm trying to be serious about, and definitely would not be definitely would not be setting a good example for I mean, I'm trying to set a good example here, so it's like part of being a good professional artist is actually getting done your work, you know, and not just saying like, oh yeah, I've got this commission, but I'm going to ignore it. I worked on it yesterday, and then I did the Zelda, and now I'm working on it again. No more Discord, yeah. I mean, if that was the case, I wouldn't blame her for being mad at me. So, you know, I do take this stuff. I didn't come this far as a dad to F it all up at the last second by getting sloppy. Set a good example for not only artists but dads everywhere. Man abandons children. Yeah. It's like a Simpsons episode. I was on Discord, man explains. No, now I think what I drew for the only because this I'll tell you, drawing this mace, not that easy. That was not an easy thing to draw. So I'm going to cut that out and steal it. Okay. But now the hand looks like it's at the wrong angle. So I'll redraw the hand. Yeah. It's like would-be artist. Yeah. 5'11.5" man. Exactly. Local dad comes up short. It was just a matter of time, says his wife. I always knew he couldn't do it. I never believed in him. That's hilarious. Okay, yeah, it's a subtle thing, but just making sure we have the angle and the perspective correct on this hand grip. Because the way that I've got it set up, the heel of the hand is closer to the camera than the thumb. That has to be represented. Yeah. Our national security depends on me getting this commission done. And this will be ongoing. I'm not going to rush to finish it this week or anytime. Like, my friend literally said, there's no due date. So that's great. It doesn't have to step on the toes of anything else that's important in my life. But if I don't work on it with regularity, what'll happen is it'll still be on my plate by the time like a real commission comes along. And I don't want that. I don't want like commissions just piling up. I mean, I guess maybe I do. So that would represent demand for my skill. But I mean, if it took until Christmas to get it done, I don't think they would complain. Especially if it looked awesome. But it's entirely possible that the same way I did all the other Zelda stuff, I'll just poke at it and poke at it and poke at it until it finally gives up and is finished. It doesn't have to be perfect looking to be finished, and it doesn't have to look like anything specific. Sort of feel out what it needs to be, and it'll have its own, come into its own by itself. And I will hardly have had to do anything at all. The foreshortening on this bicep is tricky, but that is starting to feel right. And so now I sort of feel like into this I can start adding some of those details. Looks amazing so far. He checks the streams out occasionally. He's quite so him having known me since I was 11, he's quite well aware. Like his whole like what is it, like the whole like, wow, you're a really good artist, like that's been like since we were kids. Like he's kind of like my wife. Like she's totally desensitized to it. She's not, it's just sort of like, and it's like I get desensitized to it too. That's why I need the stream, so I can remember that I'm like, no, I've got talent that is actually cool and it's good to show off. But it's like, you can't be, I mean, it's like imagine being like married to like a magician or something like that. It's like, it's really cool, like probably when you're dating, but then it's like, oh, this is just your shtick and it's just never going to end, is it? You're always going to be pulling rabbits out of hats. We don't need any more rabbits. I need you to take out the garbage. You know, the magic is worn off. It's like, ooh, we've got the stream boo. So yeah, Sextra, I see what you mean about banning the term stream boo. That makes sense. I'll do that next time. Or maybe I can do that now. Chat settings. Manage moderation settings. I'll track all this down later. I don't want to mess anything up right now, but oh gosh, I clicked a button and now I can't see the chat. Anyway, doesn't matter. Yeah, obnoxious. Oh well, gives me something to do. Okay, so into this now, I can start adding some of those details from this character. And like, this is like, it's a great reference for the design, but it's also sort of like, it's meant to be like 3D print friendly. So the designs are sort of chunky and low poly, and not necessarily like realistic-ish. Looks more feminine. The one that I've drawn now. Well, at any rate, the there's some. I have leeway to change up some of how this is depicted. It just more or less needs to be in the spirit of this design, so it's recognizable as the character itself. And anyway, having a ample bosom, I think, is a sort of smart choice. I'll add in some of these fun deets. And we'll go till, let's say 2:30. So we actually only have about 15 more minutes, but Jack TBP, the stream I started, shared from yesterday, is preparing their stream. They've just been drawing since they were young, and they were very skilled. I think I meant to follow them. When it, should I raid into him? Is that what you mean? Is that something I should be doing? I don't mind doing that. If he's going by the time it's like 2:30, we can raid in there. You could. I'm going over once the stream is over. Okay, cool. Then let's try and do that at 2:30. I can't really hang out post raid, but I don't mind doing something like that. How old is Jack TBP? I looked at his stream and I didn't see his face or anything like that. It's not a problem. It's like I don't blame people for not showing their faces, but the I did kind of roast his setup for being. Well, let me roast it in terms of if I was drawing on it, I don't think I would. I don't think my neck would be happy. But it's like, some people look at the way that I like my setup, and they're like, I could never draw like that. I'm like, all right, no worries. You don't have to. He's 26. Oh, that's good. He showed me a bunch of his art. It's really good. He's won a few contests. I have never won any art contests. I want to win an art contest. I guess I win like the get hired by clients contests. the like make a living as an artist contest. That's not a bad one to win. But where are these contests that, how can I enter one of these? I should do something like that for the content. The one in your book. All right, that's good to hear. I mean, it's tricky. Don't they have like, there's that Pokemon card contest, right? But you can't be a professional, right? Yeah, because I'm not operating. It's like the longest time I was just like, all right, we're gonna be on silent mode because because I'm a behind the scenes artist, right? But I think I'm done with that chapter now. I want to do something else. You're gonna call, but okay, no worries. No, I'm like, I'm gonna be quiet. Well, let's put it this way. If you guys notice any cool contests pop up, like there's a Zelda fan art contest, I'd be like, where? You know. Now you want to be in front of the camera. I want to... I've done so many awesome drawings. And so many of them are like locked away. Like, they were like deemed unfit for public consumption. And for like, why, you know? It's like, after so long, I've got so few things that I can show off. And now I'm just like, you know what? I'm done. I'm going to start showing off. Because there's a strategy behind it too. Like, this is theoretically... You got any art you can share when you were my age? I don't remember how old you are. But yeah, I'll dig up some art I'll share from whenever I was your age. It'll be on a different stream, but yeah, I definitely will. Happy to. 26, okay. I was, let's see here, pretty sure I met my wife when I was 24, which means 26. Yeah, I was pretty much full-timing as a storyboard artist. Now, full-timing as a freelance storyboard artist is like working, let's see here, 2007, so 2009. So I'll dig up some art from 2009. I've got like a giant folder. My work archives. That's the cool thing about being a digital artist is like, in seconds, I can theoretically watch my hard drive die. Theoretically, in seconds, I can pull up my my history as a professional. It's like all right here, right? You scroll all the way up to 2009. Now this will be kind of cringe, but concept art. Oh, this is cool. Yeah, okay. This is sort of like a poorly colorized version. This is just a small sample. But in 2009, I sort of discovered the brush that I sort of use. And I still use this brush, but it's so tweaked and pushed performance-wise to the edge that it barely resembles it. But you can kind of see. These are just like mutants living under like the bridge of a futuristic city or something like that. I was trying a way to colorize black and white sketch. And there's some other ideas too. Yeah. A lot of this stuff was bad stuff though. Ugh. Like just bad drawings. Not all of them. Let me see here. Some of these might be good. Ugh. Wow. Some of the stuff. Here's this guy. Hold on. Here's one. It's like, oh, come on. No nudity in this. I don't, it isn't bad, but it's like, you can see that my, you really should be doing more. I would definitely say that the, hold on, I'm making sure. Making sure my clients aren't emailing me right away. You know, it's like I kind of knew my anatomy, but I didn't know how to. And I was thinking cinematically, like, so this is not a bad composition. But for something that I was trying to make look somewhat realistic, like, this isn't... Like, I'm not impressed by this. I may be impressed enough by the age. And, you know, I was self-taught. It's not like I spent any time in college learning how to render. You know, I had to go my own way with that stuff. I'm still learning. So, like, for instance, the other guy, like, Jack TBP, he's 26, you're 26, and when I was 26, I was drawing like this. So if he's drawing better than this, if he's drawing better than this at his age, or, you know, whatever, then super impressive, you know. You know, that said, you know, I drew these figures from my imagination for very low pay. You know, I had to move with speed. That's its own factor. From a client perspective, it can't, like, honestly, they are not dissuaded by the fact that you know, I get hired on my reputation and experience, and to a lesser extent my existing work samples. And yeah, everybody's aware that, like, some of the best artists are self-taught, self-made. It's nice from my perspective to not have giant amounts of student debt from art college. It's a real thing. Becoming an artist didn't ruin me, but you know, there are exceptions out there. You remember when you were 26? I can barely remember when I was 26. But I remember having fun. My wife and I were in no rush to have kids, so we definitely... I mean, I think when... By like the time I was like 28, I was making a fairly good living doing this stuff, and I was able to, like... We were able to, like... take a trip to Ireland, for instance, and have a great time. That was in 2010, so I would have been 27. But it's, you know, I have to put it this way, actually, because it's a phrase I use often. Becoming a professional artist is like, it's like taking a vow of poverty, like when you're a monk or something like that. You should not get into this, professionally speaking, expecting big monetary rewards. That's always the exception rather than the rule. By and large, what paying work there is out there is the kind of stuff that I do right now, but I'm trying to get away from, where you don't want kids if you can barely survive by myself. Yeah, don't rush it, you know, and it's not necessarily everybody's destiny. Yeah, the economy, like, in the world's best time and the best economy, like, having kids and being an artist is very difficult. So right now is like it's like probably the hardest it's ever been historically, outside of like the Great Depression or something like that. Actually, during the Great Depression, artists were still in pretty high demand relative to the population. Right now, it's like the art market, the market for artists is very saturated with graduates who are now coming into a world that is like being flooded with NFTs and AI, and no one knows what's real, and no one thinks art is worth isn't anything anymore. It's all very disposable. Okay, I'm definitely liking this a lot more. And you can see what I did there was I took the light lines and then I just doubled them up and it made them darker. And that's all I had to do to basically get something that feels like it's in the same fidelity as everything else. But now, okay, so let's compare. This is our new version. So this is the new version, right? And then this is the old version. You know, and I have no regrets taking the time, because that was going to bug the shit out of me. I guess what I should do is flop it, make sure there's nothing else. No matter what you do, it's like, oh yeah, that still feels really strong. Maybe a little bit needs to get fixed somewhere. Let's see here. Yeah, AI doesn't help at all. All right, I do have to call it a stream, so I'm going to do a thumbnail. Is the other guy's thing up? I mean, it's not going to be the end of the world if we don't raid in with all of 3 people or whatever. 3 people, including myself. All right, let's see here. All right, it's up. There. All right, I'm going to, Sector, I'll raid us in. And, because it looks like it just started. Art is life. That's funny. Okay, how do I do, I'm going to do this. /raid Jack TBP. Yeah, it'll be like an army of ants coming to invade. Is that how this works? Okay. 2 viewers are ready to raid. Are you ready? Are you ready to raid? All right, this will be fun. We're raiding in. Anyway, hopefully I don't offend. I'm going to stop the stream. Y'all, thank you for popping in. Let me do a quick thumbnail. All right. Yeah, hopefully y'all will be good this evening. Do a little silly thumbnail, and I will... Oh, you're talking to him. That's funny. All right. Adios. Oh, I don't know why I'm whispering. Catch you next time.